All right, it is Magi, back with another video. My name is Devin, the creator of Magi Studios, and I just wanted to talk about the new released program called Umoupen. I believe that's how you say it. I believe it's a Korean made. Um, if you haven't heard about it, it's a lot of animators have been in talks about it. A lot of people talking about it on X and whatnot. Um, But yeah, it's supposed to be this beginner friendly, very intuitive animation program. That's what it's made for, animations. So, and I've used it as an amateur because I wanted to see how intuitive, how good it is. And it has very basic tools. It has a lot of basic tools in there. It has a lot of potential actually. And in this video, we're going to go into the pros and cons of Umoupen and if you should use it or buy it. So it had a wait, what am I saying? So the Umo pen was really good at actually drawing. It wasn't bad at all. You can customize your pen and download your pens into the software from like Clip Studio or any other software that you use. And that was really cool and very helpful to just immediately get into the flow of drawing. That was very helpful for that. But what I will say is that the eraser, they had a very cool, like a vector eraser basically, and it was not working properly. It kept erasing things that was not touching whatsoever at all, and that was very frustrating. Um, all the shortcuts you can assemble yourself um, to whatever button layout you want. The starting button layout is for me was not very intuitive, so I did have to change it. Um, and then the customization of the app was really good, really fun. I actually really did enjoy uh, being able to change the color schemes and things like that, just for my eyes, because it was just more visually pleasing than just looking at a gray screen. It was just fun. Um, Being able to change those systems. So I actually hope they do keep that and take that with them. Very easy to customize the layouts and things. Just like the layout of the screen, things like that. Um, it was very intuitive on animating as well. I tried some animations in here. You will see, and that was very intuitive. That was very cool. Not very hard at all. Um, I really I tried to did a couple of them within a day, and yeah, like I said, it was very intuitive, very easy to do, very easy to get into. Um, the pins were very nice. I think they have a pin and then they have a brush. Um, Very easy to customize, very intuitive, not too complicated. Um, and then what did they do? They did a lot. um, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then you can also customize the layouts and the onion ring and onion skins, how many layers you want to be able to see, what's the color of the previous layer, the layer after, which isn't anything new, but as a starting program, it is very good that they added that. Um, and then they also have a feature where you could draw with friends, which was really really cool. So you all could either work on separate projects or y'all could work on the same project, which is really cool. I didn't get to use that because I don't really have any art friends, so sadly. But um, I thought that was a really cool feature. Just especially if just you want an accountability partner, like Umoupen got you. We'll find somebody for you. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, I'm trying to sit down and just draw for the next 2 hours. This guy is also sitting down drawing for the uh, X amount of time, whatever it may be. I think it's just really cool. Um, so I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to use it, but I do endorse it. I do endorse that idea. I think that was a really cool idea for artists because this can feel like a lonely job. You're working on a comic, this person's working on the comic, or maybe he's coloring the comic that you're drawing on, and so you're, you know, laying out the next frame. So you guys can work simultaneously without waiting for someone to necessarily send something over. I mean, so yeah. Or you can at least be able to analyze and see what's happening, what's going on. He's like, I like this, I don't like that, yeah, da da da. You can give live commentary. I don't know if you guys maybe hop on a Discord, things like that. So I think it was really cool. Um, I didn't see like the actual like texting talking feature at all, but I imagine people could just easily use Discord again. So that was really cool. Um, the pens were really cool. Very. I had somewhat of a glidey feel to it. The starting pen, at least. Um, and then, as I said, I got my Clip Studio pens in there and got a little more. I like a little bit more rigidity in there because it. I like it to feel like a pencil, like I'm drawing on paper. That feel kind of like that resistance actually kind of holds me back and makes me draw straighter lines. Is what I found out. So being able to edit it and change it to more Clip Studio, where I have a little more resistance on there, which helps me draw straighter lines. Not necessarily resistance as in pressure sensitivity, but resistance as in like the pen is just not going straight immediately. Uh, it, for digital software, it helps me draw better, straighter, cleaner lines. Um, and then I want to go into the animation was very clean, like I said, very easy to work with. Um, you can move things, shift things to animate them. Well, I forget the name of the type of animation, but since everything's like kind of done in a vector layer, basically, you can do a lot of cool stuff with vector layers. Um, and you can turn a raster layer, I think, into a vector layer as well. You do a lot of cool stuff, right? Um, and I think move, you can move the, you can move the layer, the object from one spot to a different spot within a different frame or cell, and then it will automatically animate that motion. And you can adjust it to going faster, slower, things like that. Or you can just do hand drawing as well, which I think is really awesome. And I think that really helps because really you probably just want to do that and then just add a couple small tweaks to it. Um, so like I said, that's really awesome, really intuitive, really easy to work with, really fun. You can actually make some cool stuff without doing a whole lot. Um, and then, but yeah, my main gripe was the eraser. It just was not intuitive as you want it to be. And I think now this is not a gripe. This is if Umoupen, the creators of Umoupen, whomever you may be, are listening in. This is an idea, right? But I think that your software would be really good actually for adding motion comics, right? Working in motion comics. Everyone loves comic books. We love them, but I do think that's kind of like the next stage of comics is motion comics, making that more popular or easily accessible, um, turning things into assets and whatnot. I think you could easily do that. The way everything just felt, I felt like Umoupen would be able to do that easier than Clip Studio Pro, and you might be able to make it. Might be long job, but it might be easier um, than to do it in Clip Studio Pro, and might be able to a person might be able to do it by themselves. So I think that's the next wave, but also the next wave um, of creativity is having small little bits of animation in comics. Now, whether and like I say, very small bits, like you're reading, let's say you're reading something on webtoons, right? And you should also make a webtoon panel as well. But let's say you're reading something on webtoons, and then one of the frames is just the character standing there and his cape is just flapping, right? That would be a cool thing to just animate. That one little scene is just his cape is flapping, and that's it. 2-3 frames of the cape just flapping, and it's just on a repeat. So I think Umoupen would be really good for something like that as well because of how intuitive the animation is. Um, and so Umoupen, if you're listening, reach out. We can talk about it, whatnot. But I think that would be a really good thing to get people back into comic books, at least, is to have this animation, slight animation in comic books, right? Because everyone's just looking for the full blown anime thing. And I'm sure some people are going to take it so far to the next level where it's basically you're just going to be watching an anime, reading the comic book, but yeah, I do think that's the next trajectory of comics is basically motion comics or having slight animations inside comics. And I think Umoupen, you could be leading that. And I think that would be a good investment because if you let that, you'd be the first. Now, Clip Studio, you can do it, but it's not as easy. I've tried it. I played with it with Clip Studio. You can do it. It's doable, um, but it does kind of get complicated because it's not built for that. And I've also the Umoupen. I would. There's another gripe. You need to have a dedicated frame layer for comics, right? Yeah, you need to have a dedicated frame. I know it's an animation program, but for comics, if you want to take this to the next stage, right? Have a dedicated panel button. I think that would be really really helpful for you. And so yeah, that's really all my thoughts on this app. I thought it was really good. Should you get it? I mean, if you can't or don't want to pay for the monthly subscription for Clip Studio Paint, I think this would be a really good alternative. Um, there's a slight learning curve, right? We are in like beta testing in the beginning of things, so but I would say it gets easier over time. Now I have the subscriptions to Clip Studio. I pay that $5 a month now. I was really tempted to switch over to Umoupen, um, but I have a lot of work here in Clip Studio, and I'm just so used to using it now. I kind of want to stay, but eventually, I do think um, maybe when I start to make those motion comics that I thought about, right, I probably would start switching over to Umoupen. So that was it. That was this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys they have a free 7 day. I think it's like a 7 day free trial. In this and in this video, in the description of this video, there will also be a link to getting uh, the trial or subscription 20% off um, in the description of this video. And so I just hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys, um, if you guys have tried it, let me know your thoughts. Anything else I should try out in the app, let me know. And I'll try it out again for sure. Because, like I said, I was already thinking about getting it. And so if there's more updates, of course, I would love to try it again, the update. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. God bless you guys. And well, bye.